Hello and welcome to Templar Knight TV. I'm Tony McMahon. Now, you may have seen me on a few TV programs talking about history and science topics, but my main obsession is the Knights Templar, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. Now, what I want to specifically home in on is the arrest of the Knights Templar and whether or not they got advance warning of what was about to happen, because a lot of people believe that they did. But is this just wishful thinking? Let's go back then to 1307. It's September, and the King of France, Philip the Fair, Philip IV the Fair, and his chief minister, Guillaume de Nogaret, are basically drafting arrest warrants that will be given to constables, to royal officials across France, and they will then serve these on the Knights Templar in October of that year, 1307. Many people believe that that happened on Friday the 13th, a date which has gone down in infamy ever since. Now, this was done in utmost secrecy, so nobody was supposed to know, certainly not the Templars, that these arrest warrants were about to be served. And it certainly looks like the Templars didn't know. Now, why do I say that? Well, because first of all, the Grand Master of the Templars, Jacques de Molay, actually attended the funeral of the king's sister-in-law just the day before. In fact, he was one of the pallbearers of her coffin, and he doesn't seem to have had any idea that he was about to be arrested along with the entire leadership of the Knights Templar. They would be then taken to dungeons, normally in castles, where torture was applied, and for years, for something like 7 years, there were prolonged trials of the knights until eventually a lot of them were burned at the stake, including Jacques de Molay in 1314. Now, either this came as a complete bolt out of the blue, which is certainly what the official and most contemporary accounts think, or as many later historians have, well, wanted to believe, certainly many conspiracy theorists have wanted to believe, is that the Templars were tipped off in advance. Now, this doesn't seem impossible. It's hard to believe that there weren't leaks, that something as momentous as this, especially when these arrest warrants were being circulated so widely, that it wouldn't have leaked out. That somebody somewhere along the communications chain didn't have a friend or a relative in the Knights Templar and would have tipped them off. Now, the theory goes that the Knights Templar were tipped off and that they were able to take their enormous wealth, their treasure, if you want to use that word, down to the port of La Rochelle in carts and horses, where it was then met by a Templar fleet and spirited off either up north to Scotland or south, most likely to Portugal. But for that to have happened, the Templars would have had advance knowledge that they were about to be arrested. And this is a very contentious point. Most mainstream historians do not think that the Templars got advance notice. Most esoteric historians, shall we call them, most conspiracy theories think that they very definitely did. So in my book, The Knights Templar History and Mystery, published by Pen and Sword, I'm taking a closer look at what happened to the Knights Templar at the end. Their trial, their arrests, their imprisonment, their execution, and whether or not it is feasible that they got away in the dead of night with their treasure. And did they indeed have any treasure? This is something that we must question as well. If you want to find out more, do pre-order or order the book whenever you're watching this. It's coming out on the 30th of November 2024. The publisher, Pen and Sword. In the meantime, I'm also appearing on TV in various documentaries, Alien Corridors, where I'll be talking about UFOs, and I'm also one of 4 Truth Seekers, Season 2 of Truth Seekers coming out as well, so watch out for that. Thank you for watching. Hope you found it informative. There's plenty more in the book. I'm eager to hear from you, your comments, your observations, so do feel free to get in touch. There is also a blog, The Templar Knight, a long-running Templar blog, lots of information on there. Until we meet again then, non nobis domine.